What's immersive? In a day and age where people like to go away on vacation to get lost, or they like to spend their time doing something to have fun. In the day and age of disease, and I'm saving pleasantries, there's no reason to impress a producer, stick to the script of my writer. Things are non-existent. And it's when TV tries to pretend that they're social media stars on the internet, but then they actually are once they get an account because they're on TV. But they're not, because the moment they do something like this, they would fall after the dwarf stone. More on that later, but first, an immersive in saving the pleasantries. In the day and age where a common cold is a disease, there's no difference that they're of is a descriptive word. In grammar and everything, when you start a sentence with so and then you end it with though, it's a throwaway sentence. Wait for this one. An immersive behavior. Common cold disease, nothing different because it releases and it's pedal to the metal. When you become more of half of something and it's regenerating in you, you become that, even if you don't look like it. So in diseases, when they multiply, it's like a bacteria ratio. That behavior of that bacteria ratio, they call it the exponential function in math, where it just keeps going up and up because it's on the up and up. And that's immersive 101. Secondly, these diseases, they go for areas of interest, which are those that are going to get the spotlight from them off of them. The places of the unknown. It's where in Gotham City they would fire a bat signal, and so that Batman would leave his bat cave. The exact opposite is the case of diseases. They go where in areas that are already your points of weakness. So that's the last place that would be conducted. Like surveying a pole. You know that your body upholds areas around it and it goes around and it changes them into clear windows. But it's in the point of inclusion that I'm not allowed to say things that are too hardcore, because this is the day and age of cancel culture, and people, if you're not politically correct, then you're wildly out of line. And when this is the occurrence, there's these ghosts in the machines. They're called algorithms, and they squeeze you like a flop of mosquitoes with you having no protection of clothing. They'll stick those beaks right in you. No, but if you just couple all the things that were too hardcore over the last 2 videos that you've done, it's surely to bypass the censors. And so in the last one, it was that I read in a magazine, the embryos of humans, they're less resilient because they lack in complexion. And then they thing with white and clarity. So this thing, something goes around and says, probably that, and it looks for anything behind a cell wall that could be hiding. And when this is of occurrence, it's the relation of the seeker, the white blood cell, allegedly, and then the thing being sought. You know, anything that would be bad, a viral load would have a DNA that doesn't match yours. and so it would be inside of something if it's been tampered with. And so the cell wall, I'm guessing, is the cell wall. You know, people, let's throw me a bone here. It goes clear, transparent, like a window that has the blinds pulled back. And so this thing that's seeking looks inside of it when it gets close to it. And this has everything to do with the outlier being pixels. There's a whole thing in pixels. It's like cryptology. And boy, would it be great if you could combine what pixel logic is to dark rooms with photos being processed in dark rooms, carbon copy receipts, and how blueprints are made. All this and more coming up right now. With a blueprint, you've got this yellow stuff, beryllium, and then you put it into the blueprint and it presses it because it's already drawn out, and then you stick ammonium below it, and then it processes a blueprint, and the lines of the blueprint are then excavated. That means cut out like a stencil from the burning of ammonium. And so when a carbon copy receipt, you're writing a receipt, you're pressing down the stenciling of this, you lift the paper up and it's now a copy of what you've pressed down on, if you press hard enough. You know, if the ammonium in the blueprinting reaches all the areas enough. In the dark rooms of photos, you take a picture and it's undeveloped, and so the picture's there, it just needs to get set in some liquid. You hit black lights everywhere, you take it out and you dry it on a clothespin, and then it will develop a picture in a fruition. This stuff is like an encapsulation of what pixels do. And I guess I'll get more on this because that's how you make hardcore into the light. A lighter of the harder to eliminate what a core is, to have it be something that isn't propagandized. Because Obama made the Disinformation Propaganda Act of misinformation, but it's not misinformation because if logic is universal, it can be applied. But if it can't be applied universally, the logic is just propaganda. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama. And so there's checks and balances and separations of power and imperialism. It's how mysticism and escapism are justified imperialism, but God made gravity, and so the difference of bacteria versus a diseased bacteria, the exponential would be different, right? Being in the know and